My story. As the vessel touched down, he stepped outside, his boots crunching on the soft grass beneath him. The vibrant hues around him looked almost surreal, lush emerald valleys, azure streams, and towering crystal structures that sparkled in the sunlight. Yet it was the sacred flame that drew him in, a swirling ember of blue and gold suspended in midair like a living entity. Jordan purposefully walked towards it, brushing off the unease gnawing at him. The flame was known to test all who approached, presenting visions of the heart and soul. He composed himself, determined to face whatever awaited him. To his surprise, he wasn't alone. Standing beside the flame was Celine, the guardian. She radiated an otherworldly beauty, her iridescent skin shimmering in colors that reflected the flame itself. Her eyes, deep pools of crystalline hues, met his with a mixture of curiosity and caution. Who dares approach the sacred flame? Celine demanded, her voice both melodic and firm. I come in peace, Jordan replied, his heart racing under her intense gaze. I am Jordan Carter, an envoy of humanity. I seek wisdom and understanding, not conflict. Celine narrowed her eyes, observing him closely. Words are easy. What is it you hope to gain from this encounter? A chance to learn, he said, stepping closer but carefully, not wanting to startle her. Humanity has made mistakes, forged in ignorance and arrogance. But we wish to change that. I want to find common ground. You speak well for a creature whose kind has brought so much destruction, she countered, her posture wary yet curious. Jordan felt a pang of frustration, but he held his ground. I understand your hesitance. My people have made many errors, but I refuse to be defined by the past. I'm here to listen, to understand your culture. Celine seemed to soften, if only slightly. We have seen your kind before. Diplomacy often cloaks ulterior motives. Then allow me to show you my sincerity, he suggested, gesturing towards the fire. May I sit by the flame? After a moment's hesitation, Celine nodded. Very well, but know that the flame reveals more than just your desires. It unveils truth. Jordan settled himself beside the flame, feeling an otherworldly warmth permeate through him. Tendrils of light flickered in shifts of color that mesmerizingly danced. Celine sat across from him, still vigilant but no longer on edge. What do you feel? She asked, her tone more inquisitive. I feel openness, he replied, closing his eyes to see the colors swirl even more vividly. A longing to connect, to share in something greater than ourselves. Celine tilted her head, intrigued. That is unexpected for a human. Many seek power, not connection. I've seen enough of conflict. Power wins battles, but understanding, he paused, looking directly into her eyes, understanding can win lives. She remained silent for a moment, considering his words. If you are to be taken seriously, tell me about your world. Jordan nodded, taking a deep breath. Earth is beautiful, but complex. There are many cultures, languages, and histories. We've built wonders and made significant strides, but we've also faced wars, prejudices, and struggles. Right now, we are trying to create a balance and learn from our mistakes. Balance, Celine echoed, a hint of skepticism in her voice. It is a concept often diluted in words. Actions speak louder. And I agree, he said earnestly. Let me show you my actions, not just my words. You're wise and powerful, Celine. I wish to know you, your thoughts, your dreams. For a brief moment, a flicker of intrigue passed across her face, but she quickly masked it. Dreams can lead one astray. Maybe he conceded, but they can also lead one to greater truths. Please share yours. Celine hesitated, brushing a fingertip across the glowing surface of the flame. In my dreams, I see unity among the stars. All beings interconnected, sharing knowledge and embracing our differences rather than letting them divide us. Then we're not so different, Jordan said softly. That's my dream too, to build bridges instead of walls. As they talked, the atmosphere around them shifted. The tension began to dissolve with each shared story, each softening glance. Jordan extended his hand, palm up, the gesture both inviting and vulnerable. Would you let me guide you through the flame? He asked. Let us share whatever visions the fire reveals. Celine studied his hand for a long moment before reaching out, intertwining her fingers with his. Very well, but only if you vow to respect what you see. I vow it, he promised, his heart thundering in his chest. Together, they drew nearer to the sacred flame, its colors intensifying as if reacting to their connection. The moment they were locked in, visions swept over them, a kaleidoscope of ideas, histories, and futures intertwined, sharing both light and shadow. Jordan felt Celine's pulse quicken as the flame revealed the beauty of their goal, a galaxy filled with collaborative societies, sharing knowledge and culture. He turned to look at her, the brilliance of the flame reflecting in her eyes, and found himself captivated by the glimmer of hope within them. "This could be our future," he breathed, his voice barely above a whisper. "Maybe," Celine replied, her gaze steady, "but it requires courage and strength to walk this path together." "Then let's take that first step," he suggested. Celine squeezed his hand lightly, a silent affirmation. "You may just surprise me, Jordan Carter." In that moment, Jordan knew that the sacred flame's true power wasn't just in illumination, it was in the bond they were beginning to forge, one that could reshape the galaxy if nurtured with care. And for the first time, he felt that perhaps humanity could find its place among the stars after all. Chapter 2: Shared Stories. As the days turned into a gentle rhythm of shared meals and laughter, Jordan and Celine forged a deeper understanding. Each morning, he would rise early to watch the sun crest over Eloria's vibrant horizon, painting the sky in hues of golden amber and swirling lavender. He could hear Celine's melodic voice in the distance, often serenading the dawn as she tended to the garden of luminaire flowers that surrounded the sacred flame. "Good morning, Celine," he called out one morning, breaking the tranquil silence. She turned, her eyes bright. "Jordan, you rise earlier each day, perhaps you're adapting to our rhythms." "I think it's you," he replied, a grin spreading across his face. "You have a way of making everything feel magical." Celine approached, her shimmering form radiant against the dawn. "Magic lies in the essence we choose to see. Even in your world, can magic not be found in the simple acts of kindness?" Jordan considered her words. "I suppose it can. It's just that sometimes we're too busy to notice the little things." He gestured to the garden around them. "But here, I feel like I can breathe." "Breathe and reflect," she added thoughtfully, folding her arms. "It is vital to understand oneself before reaching out to others." He nodded, knowing she was right. "Would you share more about your people? I want to understand what makes Eloria special." Celine smiled, her gaze drifting toward the sacred flame. "Very well. In many ways, we are like you, dreamers, seekers of knowledge. But our connection to nature shapes our culture. We believe that the essence of our world speaks to us, and that is reflected in our art, our music, and even our celebrations." "Celebrations?" he asked, intrigued. "What kind?" Her face lit up. "Every lunar cycle, we gather for the Festival of Lights. We create glowing orbs from the fruit of the luminaire flowers. As twilight falls, we release them into the sky. It is said that the orbs carry our wishes and dreams." "That sounds incredible," Jordan said, imagining a night filled with shimmering lights dancing against a starry sky. "Do you think I could see it?" "Of course," she replied, excitement bubbling in her voice. "You would be a welcome participant. I will teach you the ways of my people. But first, you must share more of your world." "All right, fair is fair," he grinned. "What do you want to know?" Celine tilted her head, considering. "Tell me about your childhood. What was it like growing up on Earth?" Jordan chuckled, surprised by her question. "Oh, it was a mix. I grew up in a small town surrounded by vast fields and forests. My siblings and I spent hours exploring, building forts, and pretending to be adventurers. We had little, but the love of our family kept us rich." "That sounds idyllic." "Did you ever wish to see more of the universe?" she pressed, her curiosity apparent. He hesitated. "Honestly, I did. But like many, I thought it was just a dream. Exploring the stars felt unattainable." "Yet here you are," Celine said, her tone playful. "Traveling among the stars. It appears dreams are not so distant after all." Jordan looked at her, feeling a spark of connection. "You make a good point. What about you? Did you have dreams as a child?" Celine laughed softly, the sound like tinkling bells. "Dreams that questioned the very fabric of our existence. I imagined traveling beyond the veil of the celestials, dancing among the stars alongside the constellations." "Dancing with stars sounds poetic," he mused. "Was that what led you to become the guardian of the sacred flame?" "It was part of it," she replied. "But my desire grew from witnessing the struggles within our universe. I wanted to protect something that symbolized unity and understanding, much like what you were trying to achieve." "You're doing an amazing job then," he said sincerely. "Have you ever considered what it would be like to explore?" Her eyes flickered with thought. "There is beauty in my role, but I also wonder, what if my heart yearns to see more? To embrace uncertainties?" Jordan leaned closer, sensing her vulnerability. "If you ever decide to roam beyond the stars, I'd welcome the company. We could explore together." "Together?" Celine pondered, her voice softening. "It is a comforting thought. Perhaps companionship would ease the fear of the unknown." Finding courage, Jordan gently brushed his fingers against hers, creating an electric connection. "We'd face whatever comes our way together. You can count on that." An undeniable warmth filled the space between them, and Celine glanced down at their hands, then back to his face. Perhaps we can explore the intertwining of our cultures. Show each other the truths we hold. Sounds like a plan, he agreed, a grin spreading across his face. Let's start with the best of Earth. I'll cook you something special tonight. Celine raised an eyebrow playfully. You? Cook? Hey now, he said, feigning offense. I can cook. My mom taught me her famous recipe for stew. I promise it won't be too terrible. Celine laughed, a melodious sound that filled the air. Then I suppose I shall prepare my favorite as well. We can share a meal together, a bridge between our worlds. You're on, he declared, excitement bubbling within him. What do we need? Celine's eyes sparkled. Gather some wild herbs from the hillside and I will collect the luminaire fruits. The blend shall be a reflection of both our worlds. Jordan found himself exhilarated by the prospect. Let's do it. I'll race you to the hills. With that he set off, his feet pounding against the ground, laughter threading through the air. Celine followed, her energy lighting the way as they moved as one, racing under the enchantment of Eloria's sun. They spent the next few hours gathering ingredients, laughing as they stumbled upon a patch of luminaire flowers that tickled their skin when touched. Here, Celine would call out, her arms full of fruits bursting with color. They darted from task to task, exhilaration igniting in intensity neither had anticipated. As evening descended, their makeshift kitchen by the flame was alive with sizzling sounds and fragrant aromas. They took turns stirring, joking about the differences between their cultures. Back home, we aren't this colorful, Jordan said as he chopped vegetables. It's great to see things that are so vibrant. And you humans have a way of elevating even the simplest ingredients, Celine noted, watching him with intent interest. Just wait until you taste it, he said with a laugh, filling the air with a heady aroma. I think we're about to create something amazing. Just like our partnership, Celine agreed, a soft smile gracing her lips. As they settled down to eat under the gentle glow of the sacred flame, Jordan felt the warmth of connection envelop him. He shared stories of family traditions and cherished moments from Earth, and the laughter that flowed between them became a melody that echoed through the night. So, Celine started, wiping her mouth delicately after a spoonful of stew. Do you think our worlds can truly come together? Absolutely. But it starts with moments like these, understanding, sharing, and accepting each other's differences, Jordan replied. With a nod of agreement, Celine felt lighter. Then perhaps, in time, we can build bridges not only between our civilizations but within ourselves. Together, he reaffirmed, his heart racing at the prospect of what lay ahead. Each word, each glance wove their destinies closer, and as they sat under the stars, they both knew their journey had only just begun. Chapter 3, The Bond Deepens. The days slipped by in a seamless blend of laughter and discovery as the bond between Jordan and Celine unfolded like the petals of a flower. Each morning brought new adventures and each evening resonated with shared stories under the watchful gaze of the sacred flame. One overcast afternoon, Jordan found himself wandering through the lush landscape of Eloria, enchanted by the colors and scents that surrounded him. He had spent the day gathering more luminaire flowers and wild herbs, intending to bring them back for another meal with Celine. Jordan! Over here. Celine's voice rang out, pulling him from his thoughts. He turned to find her perched on a moss-covered rock, holding a delicate, crystalline object that caught the light. What is that? He asked, stepping closer and admiring her find. I found it by the water's edge, she replied, a gleam of excitement in her eyes. It is a shard from the celestial caves. Local lore says that touching it can enhance your ability to communicate with the universe. Seriously? That sounds amazing, he exclaimed, reaching out to take it from her. What does it feel like? As he took it in his hand, he felt a warm pulse, almost like a heartbeat. He looked up at Celine. What if we could use this to connect further? To understand each other even more deeply? That is an intriguing idea, she mused, tilting her head thoughtfully. And what better time to try than during our next visit to the sacred flame? Let's head there now, Jordan suggested, holding the shard up. I want to see what else it can do. Celine nodded, her excitement palpable as they made their way toward the flame's warm glow. The journey was filled with playful banter, the gentle rustle of leaves, and the soft sounds of Eloria's vibrant wildlife. As they reached the flame, Jordan was momentarily awed by its beauty. He could see the colors shifting, reflecting the energy between them. Shall we? Celine asked, her voice low but filled with anticipation. Together, he agreed, holding the shard up to the flame. Let's see what it reveals. They sat before the sacred flame, the shard nestled between them. Jordan felt a rush of excitement as he pressed his palm against the warm surface of the glowing rock, closing his eyes. Here goes nothing. Moments passed, and they concentrated on the shard. A gentle warmth enveloped them, and the air seemed to come alive with energy. A swirl of colors danced before Jordan's closed eyelids, their ethereal beauty unlike anything he had ever experienced. "What do you see?" Celine whispered, her voice barely breaking the enchantment. "I can see shapes, forms," Jordan replied, opening his eyes to catch Celine's gaze. "It's like a map, almost." "A map?" she echoed, her curiosity piqued. "Yes. Different paths, some intertwined." He shifted the shard to face her. "If we follow them, we might learn more about each other's worlds." Celine leaned in, her breath warming his skin. "Then let's follow them together." "What do you feel?" "I feel an urgency," he admitted. "Like there's something important we need to discover." With a shared glance, they placed their hands back on the shard, their fingers brushing together. The colors danced even more vividly around them, syncing with their heartbeats. "Focus on each other," Celine suggested softly. "Let the flame guide us." As they did, Jordan felt a wave of emotion wash over him. The depth of their connection, their shared strengths and vulnerabilities. "Celine, I've never felt this way about anyone before." She looked at him intently, her expression serious. "I feel the same. There's something unspoken between us. A pull. Let's explore what that means," he said as the colors intensified. "Let it unfold naturally." "I would like that," she replied, her voice barely above a whisper. "But first, let's understand our pasts." Jordan hesitated, but he knew she was right. "All right, you first. What's your earliest memory of Eloria?" Celine leaned back slightly, her brow furrowing in thought. "I remember the first festival of lights I attended. I was a child weaving through the crowds as luminaire orbs floated into the sky. I felt so connected to my people, to our traditions." "That sounds beautiful," he said, smiling at her joy. "And you?" she pressed. "What is your favorite memory from Earth?" "My favorite?" He chuckled. "It would have to be camping with my family. We'd sit around a fire, roasting marshmallows and telling stories. The stars would appear as if they were painted on a canvas." Celine's eyes sparkled. "We too share stories around our flame. It is a universal tradition." "So it seems," he said, enchanted by the parallels in their experiences. "What else do you want to share?" "Your hopes? Your dreams?" The questions hung in the air, urging Celine to dive deeper. "I hope for understanding between our peoples. I dream of a universe where we can coexist, explore, thrive together." "That's a beautiful dream," he replied, his heart swelling with admiration for her vision. "You're passionate about this." "And you?" she asked, her gaze steady. "What do you dream of?" Jordan took a deep breath, weighing his thoughts. "I dream of a world where humanity learns from its mistakes, embraces its diversity, and finds a way to connect with other cultures, not just politically but personally." "That's a dream worth pursuing," Celine said sincerely, squeezing his hand lightly with excitement. As the colors in the air shifted around them, Jordan felt more connected to Celine than ever before. Who knows? Maybe tonight's dream can guide that future. Celine smiled softly, her eyes shimmering with warmth. "We can start right here. Together." "Together," Jordan echoed, their hands intertwined. "With this connection, we can almost touch the stars." The warmth of the sacred flame enveloped them, pulsing in sync with their shared energy. They both felt as if a veil was lifted, revealing truths they had not been able replied, marveling at the glowing orb. "It's as if it's carrying our hopes." As if answering their unvoiced sentiment, the orb gently began to emanate soft, swirling patterns that mirrored the colors around them. They glanced at each other, smiles tugging at their lips. "It's beautiful," she whispered. "Just like you," he replied, his heart racing. Celine's cheeks flushed a soft hue, and she smiled shyly. "You're quite the charmer, Jordan." "I just speak what I feel," he said, meeting her gaze. "And right now, I feel something extraordinary." Without thinking, Jordan leaned closer, drawn by an irresistible force. As the orb vibrated with newfound intensity, they closed the gap, their lips brushing together. It was a soft kiss, tentative yet electric, a daring exploration of their burgeoning feelings. When they pulled away, breathless, The orb burst into a radiant flare, showering them with shimmering light. "What just happened?" Celine asked, her voice a mix of astonishment and joy. "I think it means we're on the right path," Jordan replied, smiling widely. "About to embark on this adventure together." Celine nodded, her eyes bright with wonder. "Then let's dive deeper. Together." With that, they leaned back against the warmth of the sacred flame, their plights no longer solitary but intertwined, a journey yet to be explored, hand in hand. Chapter 4, A Test of Trust. The early morning sun cast a warm golden hue over Eloria as Jordan awoke. He could still feel the lingering warmth of the previous night's kiss, the way it ignited a spark that made him believe in possibilities. Rather than the predetermined path of his mission, he now felt a genuine connection with Celine, one that was about to deepen. Stretching, he glanced outside the window of their shared quarters, marveling at the radiant flora. Celine was already up, her silhouette gracefully moving among the luminaire flowers, humming a soft tune. He couldn't help but smile at the sight. There was something ethereal about her. "Good morning, Celine," he called, stepping outside. "Jordan," she responded, turning toward him, her face lighting up. "I was just thinking about starting our day. We have much to do." "What do you have in mind?" he asked, walking toward her. "I thought we could help the Elorian community prepare for the Festival of Lights. It's only a few days away and so much remains to be done," she said, her eyes sparkling with enthusiasm. "Festival of Lights, huh?" Jordan paused. "What exactly does that involve?" "A variety of tasks. We need to collect luminaire fruits, prepare the glowing orbs, and even practice the songs and stories we will share." She grinned. "Will you help me?" Jordan laughed, the prospect of community work filling him with exhilaration. "Of course. Just lead the way." As they moved through the village, Jordan was captivated by the vibrant culture that surrounded them. Elorians bustled about, laughter ringing in the air, their harmonious movements coordinated as if performing a dance. The beauty of their traditions brought a sense of peace in his heart. "Oh, look!" Celine pointed toward a group of Elorians gathered near an expansive luminaire tree. "They're gathering the fruits." Jordan watched as the glowing yellow and blue fruits were plucked with care, their balance creating a symphony of color. "I can help with that," he said, stepping forward. "Just show me what to do." Celine nodded, leading him closer. "Simply pick them gently, like this." She demonstrated, her hand gliding along the branches. "Got it," he said, mimicking her movements. "These look almost too beautiful to pick." "Beauty serves a purpose," Celine replied, her voice earnest. "Each fruit offers not only nourishment but also a piece of our spirit. When shared during the festival, they connect us." Jordan paused, looking deeply at her. "I appreciate the meaning behind it all. Let's work together," she encouraged, and they continued to gather the fruits, laughter spilling between them, creating a light atmosphere. Once they had collected a substantial amount, Celine suggested, "Now, we need to prepare the orb containers from the roots of the luminaire flowers. You're the expert. Lead the way." Jordan replied, a playful grin on his face. As they worked together, Celine taught him the delicate art of crafting the containers, sharing anecdotes about her childhood traditions. Jordan found himself enjoying the intricacies of the process, knowing every touch built towards something greater. After an hour of crafting and storytelling, Celine placed her hands on her hips, surveying their progress. "I think we're doing quite well." Jordan grinned, glancing at the rows of containers they'd made. "Not too shabby if I say so myself." Suddenly, his expression shifted as he noticed a commotion nearby. A group of Elorians stood in a tight circle, voices raised, their body language tense. "Celine, what's happening over there?" he asked, concern creeping into his voice. Celine followed his gaze, eyes narrowing. "I believe it's some dissent regarding the festival. Some among us have questions about allowing a human to participate." Jordan's heart sank. "Do they think I'll disrupt their traditions? They come from a place of caution." She added with a sigh, "Fear of change is common, even among my people." "Should we address them?" he suggested, wanting to stand by her side, willing to face whatever they might throw at him. Celine took a deep breath, her expression resolute. "Yes. If we are to build trust, we must be open. Your perspective could help." Together, they approached the gathering, sensing the palpable tension. The murmurs quieted as they neared. "Celine, what are you doing here?" a voice called, standing at the forefront. It was Naren, a respected elder in their community. "I am here to share our preparations for the festival," she replied confidently. "And I would like to introduce you to Jordan. He has dedicated himself to understanding our culture and helping us." Naren's brows furrowed. A human? What has he contributed beyond his presence? We know of your kind war, destruction, how can we trust his intentions? Jordan stepped forward, feeling the weight of the moment. I understand your concerns. I come from a world that has had its share of conflicts, but I promise you I seek connection, not conflict. I've learned from Selene and everything this world has to offer. Words mean little without action, Naren shot back. I agree, Jordan replied, his voice steady. So give me a chance to prove myself. Allow me to assist, not just with preparations but by working alongside you all. I will earn your trust. Selene's eyes bore into his, lending him quiet support. Naren's gaze swept over the crowd, gauging their reactions. The whispers began again, a mix of skepticism and intrigue. If you truly wish to earn our trust, Naren said slowly, crossing his arms, then participate in the festival preparations openly. Show us you can respect our ways. Consider it done, Jordan replied, a renewed determination firing up within him. As the crowd began to disperse, Selene walked beside Jordan. You handled that well, but it won't be easy to change their minds. I'm not looking for instant trust, Jordan said, glancing at her. I want to show them I care, that I respect their culture. Selene nodded in agreement. Actions speak louder than words. That afternoon, they continued their work, creating an aura of anticipation for the Festival of Lights. With each passing moment, Jordan felt himself weaving deeper into the community, sharing laughter and stories as they prepared. Once the sun dipped low on the horizon, casting an array of colors in the sky, Selene paused and looked at Jordan. What's your plan for the festival? I want to show you my world, a small piece of it, he replied, a hint of mischief in his eyes. I brought something special from Earth. It's a surprise. Selene raised an eyebrow curiously. What is this surprise? Trust me, he said, grinning. You'll see when the time comes. Just know it's meant to symbolize our connection. Now I'm intrigued, she admitted, a smile spreading across her face. As the festival drew closer, Jordan felt a surge of excitement and anxiety intermingling in the pit of his stomach. He wanted to honor Eloria's traditions while revealing a piece of his own humanity. The festival was a stepping stone, a chance to strengthen their bond and prove his dedication to Selene and her people. Together, we'll make it unforgettable, Selene said, her confidence spilling over. With that, they returned to their work, each step bringing them closer to a reality neither had anticipated. As the sacred flame lit the skies above them, Jordan knew that this journey was just beginning. It was a path built on trust, understanding, and a friendship that grew deeper with every shared moment. Chapter 5, The Flame of Unity. The day had arrived. The Festival of Lights loomed, pulsating with energy as Eloria's inhabitants poured their hearts into the preparations. Jordan could feel the excitement in the air, mingling with the scents of roasted luminaire fruits and the delicate melodies of Elorian songs. Together, he and Selene had worked tirelessly, and now it was time to unveil their combined efforts. Look at this place, Selene said, her eyes wide as she surveyed the sprawling festival grounds, illuminated with luminaire orbs of vibrant colors that floated gracefully above. It's beautiful. Congratulations. You've created something magical, Jordan said, admiring the scene. He couldn't help but smile at the sight of the community coming together, their laughter and joy weaving through the air. He turned to Selene, noticing the pride on her face. I couldn't have done this without you, she shrugged playfully. You've done more than you realize. You transcended a line that many believed couldn't be crossed. Let's not dwell on that now, Jordan replied, clapping his hands together. What's next on the agenda? Tonight, we'll release the orbs into the sky, Selene explained, a glimmer of anticipation in her eyes. And that will be the moment when we share our dreams. That sounds incredible, he said, already imagining the dazzling display they would create. What do you want your orb to say? Selene paused, her expression thoughtful. I want to share my dream for unity, a vision where different beings appreciate one another's cultures. Then I'll make mine equally strong, he said. I want to express my wish for peaceful connections, not just here, but throughout the universe. Selene looked at him, her gaze unwavering. Together, they will create an inspiring sentiment. They spent the day in a flurry of activity, intertwining their cultures in preparation for the festival. Selene taught Jordan traditional Elorian songs filled with stories of love, harmony, and unity, while he shared tales of Earth's diverse histories filled with courage and resilience. As twilight descended, the anticipation in the air became almost tangible. Are you ready? Selene asked, her heart racing with adrenaline. Ready as I'll ever be, Jordan replied, giving her a reassuring smile. The pair stood before a large gathering of Elorians, the glowing orbs they had crafted resting beautifully beside them. Naren, standing nearby, took a step forward, his voice commanding attention. Friends, tonight we celebrate not only our traditions but also the willingness to embrace the unknown. We honor the stories that make us who we are. And today we share the dreams that unite us. The crowd murmured in agreement, and Jordan felt both excitement and trepidation swirl within him. As Naren gestured towards them, he stepped forward, feeling Celine's supportive presence beside him. Today we share not just our hopes as inhabitants of Eloria, but as beings in the cosmos, he began, his voice steady. I come from a world where we've made mistakes, but we're learning to listen, to grow, and to embrace others. He glanced at Celine, who nodded encouragingly. Together, we have created these orbs to carry our dreams. And by releasing them, we share our intentions with the universe. As they lifted the orbs, Jordan felt the weight of their mutual understanding, an electrifying bond forged in shared labor. Let's send our dreams high to illuminate the night. The crowd erupted in cheers, their enthusiasm palpable as Jordan and Celine carefully released the orbs into the air. A thrill surged through him as he watched them rise, creating a breathtaking spectacle as they soared higher, expanding and lighting up the sky. Look! Celine gasped, pointing to the luminaire fruits now igniting one by one as the orbs drifted. It's beautiful. I never expected anything like this, Jordan breathed, transfixed. The orbs shimmered against the dark sky, casting a kaleidoscope of colors down upon the people below. Each one burned bright as it floated, carrying within it a part of their dreams. The euphoric energy surged through the community, igniting laughter, songs, and joyous shouts. As the display continued, Jordan marveled at the sight, his heart swelling with a sense of belonging. He turned to Celine, who was now engulfed in joy as she delighted in the moment. I couldn't have imagined this, he said, leaning closer. What an experience! Every moment has its magic, she replied, her voice barely above the laughter surrounding them. But it is our connection that truly makes this special. They stood together, fingers brushing, their hearts intertwined as they watched luminaire orbs drift into the sky like stars being born. The crowd began to settle, an air of reverence easing through them as they returned their attention to the ground where the festival would continue. I think you've won over the community, Celine smiled, her eyes dancing with admiration. Look at how they respond to you. It's their warmth that makes this easy. Jordan glanced around, witnessing the joy on the faces of Elorians. I'm grateful for the opportunity. I hope they can see my intentions. Celine nodded, her expression thoughtful. You earned a place here tonight. As laughter echoed, Celine leaned in closer, her voice softening. And what do you think this means for us? Jordan met her gaze, the warmth of her presence enveloping him. It means we keep building on this feeling. Together. She smiled, her heart visibly expanding with hope. Together. As the festivities continued, they shared traditional dances, exchanging playful movements that made them both laugh until their sides hurt. In each leap and twirl, they celebrated their differences, intertwining earthiness with the otherworldly elegance of Eloria. At one point, exhausted from dancing, they both collapsed on a grassy knoll just beyond the festivities. Wow, I didn't know I had it in me, Jordan chuckled, catching his breath. Celine laughed, brushing strands of hair from her face. I believe you have more surprises up your sleeve than you let on. As the colors of the festival illuminated the night, a comfortable silence enveloped them. You know, he started, glancing at her, this is just the beginning. I want to stay connected even after I return to Earth. Celine turned to face him, her expression softening. You can, she said, her voice steady. We can bridge our worlds, share stories, and find a way to communicate our experiences. Jordan felt a swell of warmth in his chest. I would love that. It's rare to find someone who understands like you do. It seems we have a lot to learn from each other, Celine replied, flashing him a playful smile. As the festival wound down, they stood, side by side, eyes drawn toward a void that felt full like the sky above, an expanse filled with possibilities. Their dreams intertwined like the luminaire fruits floating gently in the night, and they both realized the unexpected strength of their connection. And for the first time in a long time, Jordan felt a sense of certainty. This was not merely a crossing of paths, but the beginning of a shared journey, rich with promise and unity, with Celine leading the way.